Hello everyone and welcome to the tavern. It's time for another GunPla review. Yeah, I know it's been a while. So I thought I'd talk about one of the cooler units from Double Zeta, the AMX-011 Zaku 3. As you can see, he's a big guy, but size isn't the only thing that matters. What matters when it comes to a GunPla kit is how nice it looks, how easy it is to build, the cool accessories, and how you feel after you're finished. So first, let's take a look at some of the aesthetics here. We got some good stuff here considering the age of this kit. You can kind of look around here and see. But the real cool part here, thrusters all inside the skirts, even though they don't really need to be. So right inside your leg bell bottoms thing here, you get your thrusters. And as an added fun detail, you can pop open the back here for more thrusters. It can't stand if these thrusters, it can technically stand if the thruster's out, but I would put it on a stand so you get the full effect of them being swapped out like that. Even the backpack, some pretty cool stuff in here. The fuel canisters and all that. And the armor itself looks fairly decent. So aesthetically, not too bad. It also has very few stickers. It's essentially the backing for the mono eye and the mono eye itself. I don't actually use backing stickers for the mono eye. I just paint it black. So that's what I did with this one. However, if you prefer to use the stickers or you just don't like painting, then you can always just use the stickers and avoid the paint. Beyond that, the build is relatively quick. It's a lot of big parts, so you don't have to worry too much about little small things. But the extra detailing, like the foot thrusters and some of the armor up around the shoulders and the head, do have some interesting, unique parts in order to make this a more fun building experience than your typical big boys that only just have bulky parts. That being said, I did have to glue a few parts into place. Some of those thrusters get a little bit loose, and gluing them was just my best recourse. However, beyond some of those leg thrusters, there really wasn't much else that caused me trouble on this kit. So let's go and take a look at the flexibility of the Zaku 3. Alright, so it looks pretty good, and it wasn't that bad of a build, but big guys tend to have issues with flexibility. Let's see how this guy turns out. So on the foot, you have like a little bit of left and right movement here, a little bit of forward, a little bit of back, but the armor kind of limits what the foot can do. As I said, you have the little foot thruster thing that can pop out. There is no toe movement or anything like that. For the rest of the leg, it's very stiff thing here, plus the backpack. You're almost 90 degrees, but as you can see, it's not really there. If we pull the leg fully forward, both the armor just kind of holds it back here on both sides. And the good news is you do kind of have a 3-part knee bend because this little piece of armor does stick out. Which is kind of cool, but again, even out, it's not very bendy. So we're really lacking the flexibility in the legs there. As we get up to the waist, your front armor has a little bit of movement. It has a lot of movement actually. Oh, excuse me. And they are separated, so you do have that. But the leg doesn't really accommodate the moving of that armor. The side skirt does nothing. The back skirt does nothing. Backpack has no movement either. Correction about the backpack. These guys do actually move. So there you go. You can go down and up, however you want to do that. Going to the waist, we have an okay left and right there. Let's show it to you again from this angle. So you can technically go all the way around if you wanted to, but it feels a little loose, and I'd be worried about it having the top half pop off. Do get an okay amount of forward, not much on the back, so not much. See, we already had a part fall off. What did I say? I don't even know what part that was. So that'll be a thing for me to worry about later. Shield has a good rocking motion here, and the top part has a little bit of movement, but not much. As for the arm, this one, shoulder pad doesn't do anything. Arms have an okay rotation, but the backpack and stuff like that versus the spikes is going to be a bit of a problem. Hand, of course, really nice. A lot of movement on the hand itself because of the way the joint is located. The elbow, 90 degrees. It's kind of the era for this kit. Outstretched this way, not much. The armor gets in the way. Same thing, other side here. Armor's just going to get in the way. So up and down movements on the arm are limited in those ways. Head, basically nothing. You get a little bit of left and right, and that's kind of about it. This kind of cool head of all the 3 spikes just doesn't have much movement option. And yeah, so not the best, but not the worst. It is a very stiff guy, and that's both due to the age of the kit and to how the armor is designed on this kit. So just keep that in mind. When you want to build this, your best bet is to just either have him standing, looking imposing with a weapon, or you set him up to be on a stand where you can kind of move the legs a little bit and a little bit of the arm movements to look more dynamic, but you're primarily going to be stuck with very stiff joints on the Zaku 3. Unfortunately, the Zaku 3 doesn't have a lot when it comes to accessories. First, we have the beam saber, which is a old school toothpick style beam saber. Handle and blade are the same color. You can always paint the handle if you want, just to give it a little more look, or you just throw this in the box and never ever have him equipped with the beam saber. I wanted to equip it with the beam saber for this video, just so you could see what it would look like with the blade in the hand. The big weapon for this kit, of course, is the rifle, complete with a nice little bayonet. Bayonet has a little bit of wiggle, though I don't think that's intentional. The handle here stays the same, but the rear part here can actually shift to go with the positioning of the gun on the kit. Looks fairly good. Nice amount of detailing. And it's a nice big bulky gun for your big bulky robot. To go with that gun, we have a trigger finger. It's the only spare hand we have, so yeah. But at least they gave us a trigger finger, so if you want to give him his gun, you can do it right now and have him look cool with the trigger finger effect. Lastly, we have a handful of spare polycaps, some of which I'm not entirely certain what they're used for. I think they're like hip connectors on certain things. Little tube one here. These are not particularly common, so it's nice to have a spare of that. These are types of leg ones, I believe, or shoulder ones. So you have some decent spares here that could be useful in specific kits. So always nice to have that when you really need those rare polycaps as replacements, as opposed to the common ones you tend to have way too many of, like those rectangular ones with the little slat in the middle, which you always have dozens of those left over. Overall, this is a pretty good kit. It's a nice bulky unit, which will stand out on your shelf, but more than that, it looks pretty cool, it's easy to put together, and it doesn't require that many stickers or modification. That being said, it does have a problem with a few parts being a little loose and requiring a little bit of glue here and there. In addition to that, its limited accessories don't give you a lot of options in terms of what you want to do. However, I can't help but like this kit. I like the design, I like the gun, and the fact that there's extra detailing that you could show off if you put this on a stand is always welcomed. Overall, this is a really good kit, especially if you're looking for cool robots to have on your shelf. This guy would look pretty good. Just understand the limitations that come with the age of this kit, and you'll be fine. I hope this has helped your GunPla purchasing decision. If you have the Zaku 3, or any of its variations, let me know in the comments. I'm curious what your experience was with the kit. Until next time, I'll do GunPla reviews when I can, but until then, I'll see you at the tavern.